Well, you're on fairly shaky ground. You're on fairly shaky ground here because you're talking about an event in a war that an event in a war. No, listen, an event in a war that you started and you entered.
You know this. You know the answer. I know the answer. Why you don't inform your audience about the answer? That Ukrainian government is nuclear terrorist. Why you hide away this through?
Labour and the Conservatives don't agree about much in this election campaign, apart from the fact that Nigel Farage is wrong about Russia, wrong to think that the West provoked the invasion of Ukraine, and wrong to think that Ukraine should sue for peace with Vladimir Putin. I wonder how this is being seen in Moscow. We're joined now by Sergei Markov, former advisor to Vladimir Putin. Good morning to you.
Good morning, everybody, yes.
What did you make of Nigel Farage's comments?
I think he's reasonable. We believe that this war in Ukraine, it has been encouraged by Western countries, first of all. We have much more strong position than Farage, frankly speaking. He talking that Russia is guilty, but Russia not guilty. Russia sent its troops to the Ukraine only 8 years of the senseless negotiation. It was, of course, what time? How many years we should wait? But also, Farage, he is talking that Western countries is guilty for the moving situation to the war. That's right. But at the same time, we believe that Western countries, in fact, occupy Ukraine. Western countries, in fact, are overthrown democratically elected legal president of Ukraine. And Farage keeps silent about this. Look, already 10 years, there are no legal democratic government in Ukraine. It's junta. You know, it's repressive.
There's no legal. I mean, there's not a democratic government in. There's not a democratic government in Russia. There's a fake democratic government.
No, you are
in
lying. You are lying. In Russia, we have absolutely democratic government, which is supported by most of the people. And Vladimir Putin, very popular politician.
He's very popular. He's very popular because he imprisons and kills opposition. He controls the media and he controls the manner in which democracy is functioned. It's not a free democracy. It's a way of Vladimir Putin continuing to hold to power. It's a farce of democracy, not an actual democracy.
You may don't know, I will inform you, that in Russia we have a lot of real opposition, including Communist Party in Russia, which very strongly criticize Vladimir Putin and who want Russia to move back to the Soviet Union. And you may know that Communist Party in Ukraine is prohibited officially as most of the other political parties. But now, if you want to talk about Russian domestic politics, I can say you. But now I'm talking about what Farage told about Ukrainian crisis. So it's my topic. And I want to say that Farage also under the pressure of media, also your pressure, and in other British and international media, he still ignores the clear fact that in Ukraine there are no legal government, and Western countries fully responsible for those repressive neo-Nazi regime in Ukraine, which clearly use terroristic methods.
So you don't think
sharing Zaporozhye atomic power station? I would ask you, who sharing Zaporozhye atomic power station during these 2 years? Who? What army sent shells to the Zaporozhye atomic power station? What army?
What was the answer? What was the answer? I mean, I think you're on fairly shaky ground. Well, you're on fairly shaky ground. You're on fairly shaky ground here because you're talking about an event in a war that an event in a war. Listen, an event in a war that you started and you entered.
You know this. You know the answer. I know the answer. Why you don't inform your audience about the answer? That Ukrainian government is nuclear terrorist. Why you hide away this through?
You're making an argument about one part of Ukraine in the context of an invasion by Russia into a sovereign territory. We can dress this up however much we like, Sergei, but ultimately there is a country, it is called Ukraine, and you invaded it. That is simply what happened when it came to Russia. And I guess the question is, do you feel that Farage didn't go far enough, is what you're saying? He didn't go far enough in his support for the Russian government?
Excuse me, But it's exactly what British American government doing many times in different countries and called it humanitarian intervention. Russia invasion to Ukraine was exactly humanitarian intervention.
Why does it involve so many people being killed? Why is that? That's a nonsense thing to say. It's not a humanitarian intervention. When you kill people, you're killing Russian speakers. You're killing Russian speakers. You're killing Ukrainian citizens. That is not a humanitarian intervention by any standards.
No, it's exactly humanitarian intervention because it will be very simple if your government and the American government wouldn't support repressive regime. Look as imagine about democracy. The language of Ukrainians, 80% of their language is Russian language. In fact, they are Russians. And this language is prohibited. Can you imagine that English language will be prohibited in British education system and British media and another? And for example, Kurdish or Turkish language could be
Sergei, do you think that Nigel Farage is helpful? I mean, some people have said he's acting like an ally of Russia. Is that fair? Or do you actually, from what you're saying, he hasn't gone far enough, so maybe he's not?
My clear answer that Farage is talking about 70% of the normal lie of Western elite and Western media, and 30% he brave to say the truth. Yeah. It's my answer.
He also talks about a need for a peace deal. What would Russia be willing to give up in order to achieve peace? Would it be willing to give up the eastern part of Ukraine that it's taken? Would it be willing to give up Crimea?
Territory means nothing. I will send you memories to your school time and audience memories of the school time. Look, Russia has the biggest territory in the world. We doesn't need territories. We doesn't need Donbass, Crimea.
Oh, so you'll give it up if you don't need it. You'll give it up.
No. It's not the territory is not our goal. Our goal is not to allow to create anti-Russia on the territory of Ukraine. We see that terroristic and neo-Nazi methods used for the formation anti-Russia and making endless threat to the Russian security.
But what does that mean? What does that mean in practice? Just finally, what does that mean in practice? You are in Crimea, you took it. You're in Donbass, you took it. Are you willing to give it up?
No. We will be not able to give the people to the power of the terroristic neo-Nazi government in Ukraine. And we demand, first of all, full transformation of regime. Russian language practically should be a second official language of Ukraine. All machine of terror, which include, first of all, a neo-Nazi organization, should be diminished. I would say Russia probably even will be ready to give back some of those territories, only if we have normal government Ukraine.
I understand the process. If Ukraine has a government that you're happy with, you'd be willing to...
No, absolutely. Ukraine is some kind of like Iran under the Khamenei, I would say.
Okay, I understand that argument you made there. Not everyone will agree with it, but people will have heard it. Sergei Markov, thank you for talking to us. He is a former advisor to Vladimir Putin. He said that Farage is 70% as guilty as the rest of them for telling lies about Ukraine, but brave in 30%. If you think there's any peace on its way, I suspect listening to that interview, you would recognize, no, there is not.